Hello, my friends. Hope you're all doing well. Today is the 20th of July 2025. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend. So, today we are looking at a CRAB harmonic pattern. A CRAB harmonic pattern is an extension harmonic structure which consists of X, A, B, C, and D leg. So, the D leg is an extension, so it's always extended beyond the completion leg. So for the W pattern, which is this one here, so these are your bearish structure, okay, and the M pattern is our bullish structure. So the first thing that we do in all harmonic patterns is to identify the impulsive leg. Okay, so for the bearish W pattern, the impulsive leg is X at the top and A at the bottom. Okay, so with the CRAB pattern, um, this formation employs a 1.618 XA projection, which is our defining completion zone, which is the D leg. All right, so um, the XA leg, like I said, is your impulsive leg, which then identifies or forms your B at between 0.382 to 0.618. So what I mean is you take your fib retracement, you go from your X to your A. The retracement to the upside forms your B leg. So this B leg has to be between 0.382, which is the first yellow fib, the first yellow line, 0.382 to 0.618, which is that one there, yeah, where this terminated. It must not exceed 0.618. Okay, so the B leg has to be between 0.382 to 0.618. That is our B leg. Then the retracement that forms our C leg must not exceed our A, must be between 0.382 to 886. I'll show you what I mean by 0.382 to 886. So what you need to do to measure your C leg, if you're in doubt, is you take the fib retracement. By the way, to get the fib retracement, just in case you don't know, is you have to go to so follow my arrow, you go to here, yeah, so on the left of your trading view, yeah, not the first one, not the second one, the third one, you click on it, yeah, and then you have your fib retracement and your fib based fib extension, sorry, trend based fib extension. These are the two instruments that you need for all your harmonic trading. Okay, so those are the two that you need, and these are the place. This is where you find them. Okay, your fib retracement and your fib extension. All right. Okay, so you take your fib retracement to measure your C. You go from A to B. So your C leg must touch 382, yeah, to 886, but must not exceed the A, which is this low there. Okay, must not exceed this low. Can touch 382, can touch 886, but must not cross the A. Okay, these are the basic rules for CRAB pattern. All right, so let's get that back to where it was. Okay, so that is our C. All right, and then your D to find your D, you need to take your fib extension. You measure from A to X back to A. Your D completion leg must terminate at 1.618 minimum. Okay, 1.618. So how do I get this 1.618? So if you double click on your fib extension, you just pick the numbers. All the numbers are there already. Okay, they're all there already. All you need to do is to customize it how you want it in terms of the colors. You may need to change the colors that suits you. Okay, so the two numbers that you need for the D leg is 1.618 and the 2.0. So the 2.0 is our make or break of this structure. So just above the 2.0 is where we put our stop loss. Okay, so we expect the pattern, this D leg to end at 1.618, but with CRAB pattern it does extend. Okay, it frequently extends past the 1.61 to 1.618, but then should not exceed the 2.0. So this is where you put your stop loss. Just above the 2.0 is where you put your stop loss. Okay, so let me take this one more time, and I'll talk fast. I'll try and talk very slow this time. So the first thing you do to identify your X to A impulsive leg is take your fib retracement. You go from X to A. Your B leg has to be between 0.382 to 0.618 and should not exceed 0.618. That is the rules. Okay. Then your C retracement must be between 0.382 and 0.886. To measure that numbers, all you do is take your fib retracement, you go from A to B. This B leg down to form the C must touch 0.382. If it does not touch the 0.382, then the pattern is invalid. All right. So it must touch 0.382. Can exceed all the numbers, touch 0.886, which is the last number, the red one, but must not go below A. If it goes below A, then the pattern is invalid. Then it is a different harmonic pattern information. All right. So that is our C leg identified. Then to identify the D leg where this pattern completes and where we expect to take a sell trade for the W pattern, then all you need to do is take your fib extension. You measure from the bottom, which is your A, to the top, which is your X impulsive legs, back to A, and the two fib extension numbers you need are 1.618 and then 2.0. So 1.618 is where we expect to see some price action, yeah, a rejection or some sort of candlestick pattern that you trade to go short. Okay, and the two above the two is where we expect to get our stop loss, just above the two, because with CRAB pattern it always extends the 1.618, the completion leg. Okay, so above the two is where you need to put your stop loss. Okay, so how do you measure your take profit? To measure your take profit, you take your fib retracement, you measure from A to where the D completed. Okay, so the last candle, yeah, is where you plot to measure your take profit. Okay, let's say for example the candle, the last candle before the reversal was there. So let's say it was there. Yeah, so your first take profit is at 382 and the second one is at 0.618. So those are your two take profits. All right. So for the bullish one, it is the same. Um, so it is the same measurement. All right. So for example, you take your fib retracement, and from the impulsive leg X to A, where the impulsive leg completed before this pullback, your B leg must touch the 382, 0.382, but must not exceed, must not go past 0.618. All right, so that's our B leg. Then the C retracement leg must not exceed A, okay, but must be between 0.382 to 886. To measure that, all you need is to measure from A to B, and the C leg must touch 0.382, 0.886, but must not go beyond A. All right, these are the rules. Okay, and for the D leg, where it completes, where we expect some sort of bullish price action to go long, you take a fib extension, you measure from A to X, back to A, and the two numbers that you need are 1.618 and 2.0. So this is the area between 1.618 and 2. These are the zones where we need to look for a price action to go long, and your stops are below the 2. All right. Okay, so let me show you the trades that I took last week. All right. So this is the trade that I took um, last week. So the impulsive leg, this was my impulsive leg to the upside. Yeah. So that's my X and that's my A. Okay. So I'm just going to get a fib retracement now. So from my X, which is right there, to my A, completion of the impulsive leg. So the retracement to the downside, we said must touch 3.82, but must not go beyond 0.618, yeah, which is that line there. As you can see, it did not go beyond 0.618, and then we retraced. So the retracement to form our C leg did not go beyond A, did not exceed A, yeah. So this is valid. All right, if you want to measure that, that's fine, but you don't need to. But if you're in doubt, all you need to do is to measure from A to B completion. Obviously, the C touched 0.382 and did not go beyond our A, so that was valid. And then to measure the D completion leg, all we need to do is to get the fib extension, and then you measure from the top, your A, to your X, back to A. Okay, and then we said that we need to go long between 1.618 and 2.0. Okay, so the 1 second. Okay, so the markets the D leg we pushed down, right? And then this was where we then had the rejection. Okay, we had this rejection here, this pin bar, bullish pin bar. Okay, so you can make this as your price action. Yeah, but after I saw this bullish this bullish candle, then I had to do the final step, which I did not show you at the beginning. So you need to measure using a fib extension for the D leg. So we need to measure our BC leg. Yeah. So you measure from your C to B, back to C. Okay. So the D leg completion has to, you need a price, you need numbers that aligns closely to the D leg. Okay. So the numbers that we need are 2.618 to 3.618. Okay, so those are the numbers that we need. So 2.618, for example, we need 3, we need 3.414, we need 3.272, and 3.618. So we need a number, one of these numbers that aligns closely to the D leg. This number has to be before the 1.618 D completion. Okay, so one of these numbers has to align closely to the D leg. Yeah, so let's look at these 5 numbers. Which of the numbers that came very close to the D leg? So as you can see, it is 3 right there. So right there, this 3 here. Okay, so this 3 is the number that formed before the 1.618. So the rest of the numbers we can get rid of. We don't need them. Okay. All right. So what I did last week was so I waited for all these numbers to touch the uh, D leg and my BC projection leg, which was at 3.0. So once I saw this bullish engulfing candle, I took the 50% retracement of the candle and then I went long. So to measure your profit, you take your fib retracement, you go from A to the D completion. Yeah, your two take profits are at 0.382 and 0.618. So these are your two take profits. Okay. Somebody did ask me if the harmonic pattern only works on higher time frames. The answer is that it works on all time frames, even the 1 minute time frame. Okay, so this is 1 hour time frame of the Aussie JPY. So yeah, so it forms on all time frames. All right. So my take profits, like I said before, I take only one take profit at 0.382, but I took the two take profits because on the daily time frame, so let's go on the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, I am expecting the same pattern to complete on the daily time frame. So what I need to do now is I need to get rid of the 1 hour time frame one. We don't need that. So let me just delete that. So let me just delete all this drawing. Delete. Okay, so On the daily time frame, we are expecting this pattern um, to complete. All right. So I will show you what I'm looking for. Okay, so this is the rules. Um, so on the daily time frame, I spotted this as my impulsive leg. Yeah, this as my impulsive leg. This as my pullback to form my B. Get rid of this. Yeah, so this as my B, this as my C, and then my D completion is right at 1.618 at this blue line. So we've not quite reached the blue line yet. So because of this, on the 1 hour time frame, I decided to take all the two take profits, which was very good for me last week. All right. So um, to measure this, you take your fib retracement. You go from your X to your A. The B leg touched 382, 0.382, but did not pass 0.618. So the B is valid. The C leg, let me zoom that for you. The C leg did not go beyond our A, which is valid. Okay. And then our D leg, we said we need to take your fib extension. You go from A to X and back to A. So you need 1.618 and 2. All right, so those are the two numbers that you need. Wrong one. Yep, 1.618 and 2. All right, so these are the numbers that you need. So those are the two numbers that you need. All right, so once the price comes to your D leg, you look for price action to go short. Okay, and then your stops go above the D. All right, so the final measurement to do is take the fib extension. You measure your BC projection leg. So you go from your C to B back to C. Okay, so you need one of the 5 numbers that aligns closely to your D has to be below the D completion. So we said we need 2.618, 2.618. You need, sorry, 2.618. You need 3. You need 3.414, 3.272. 3.272 comes before 3.414, just for your own information, and then 3.618. So we need one of those numbers that aligns closely to D completion at 0.618, and the number again for this one is 3. So we get rid of all the numbers and then we only leave the 3 there. Okay, so once all these numbers are touched, so the price action has already tapped the 3. So we need for next week, hopefully actually this week, for price to move up and then reject the 0.61 the 1.618. Okay, and this is where you need to look for a price action to go short. So between 1.618 and 2 are where you need to look for a price action to go short. Okay, if you see the price action that you're looking for, then go short and your stops goes above the 2.0. All right. So I hope this was easy to understand. Any questions, please ask, and I'll be happy to respond. Okay. So these are your rules. Yeah. This right here is your rules. Just make use of them. Okay. And it will be easy for you to follow. All right. Okay. All right. I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching and trade safe. Cheers. Bye now.